Okay, so I see a post last night on X, because I don't stalk Meghan Markle's Instagram or website because it's just not me. However, this post really did get to me, and obviously there's a lot to pick apart right now because Harry and Meghan, it's kind of like, is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Harry and Meghan with a tragedy to claim. To try and project Netflix because it's a failure yet again. A prediction we all see when they sat on a sofa with Oprah Winfrey, but they can't transition the two. They can't understand the backlash so strong because in our head it's all the media, the spotlight that did this to them. But no, it was their own pen signed on paper as they happily sold their family away and took that payday. But firstly, before I get into what I'm here to do, and that's to speak my honest opinion over these two, but not just these two, the reaction to these two, the reality in truth to how people see them and perceive them, because nobody wants to look at two human beings dawn in that place and think with so much mistrust, absorbing the view, you know, to feel that someone has watched the news and thought this is my moment to shine, this is my moment to pick Netflix up off the ground and propel it, because if we get the photos out, the people will see we're kind and they will gravitate to us through them. And that's kind of, I feel, how the people see it to be based off Harry and Meghan in what they've shown us they can be. Because reality is there are so many people that are without homes. They've literally watched their homes burn to the ground, all their memories and moments. Some lived in for 76 years. This is their hub, their family centre. This is where they sit back and relax, and it's all gone just like that in front of their eyes as they literally fled for their lives, and some didn't even make that end as lives it took. And you can't help but feel that Harry and Meghan are trying to make it into a trend, and that's sad. And of course, before we see the walkabout as they come to console, baseball caps on, incognito, the office of Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, just released a few words, you know, an encouragement or so. And I just want to start by reading the red flags that I perceive it to be, as they are literally flying in the wind in front of me. I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, I'm not a journalist, I'm just a person, a people, a consumer who's watched in because they invited me in. Open your home, it says. If a friend, loved one or pet has to evacuate and you are able to offer them a safe haven in your home, please do. And I just look at that and I just think, but this is what normal people do, Meghan. This is what we've seen you wouldn't do. Because when there's a disaster, communities, families, they instantly come together. And I'm telling you now, if my family member, a loved one, were placed in that disaster, I don't need no Duchess of Sussex telling me to invite them into my home, because this would be something that's done automatically. And the fact that you feel the need to write that to another just shows the level of disconnect you have with family connections, relations, because we are all out here doing that. And that's the thing. We've seen you do the opposite to that. And this is why people look at you as you dawn the streets, as you hold on to a victim on full view, a pap shot on repeat, and think, yes, we don't believe you. And be sure to check in with any disabled or elderly neighbours to see if they need help evacuating. Again, this is a normal human instinct. We don't need you from your Montecito mansion with your website adorned with everything you took from the family that you hurt so bad in front of us, you know? You wouldn't be able to do this if you hadn't have married him and took that name. You wouldn't be able to do this if he wasn't born a prince. It's all based off everything the Queen did, who you tried to deface. But if I were to just chuck in a quick comparison, if you get the likes of Bethany Frankel, someone who consistently turns up at tragedies gone wrong, the one who comes in to bring parcels, hampers, gift cards, to that dignity that they can spend what they want and do that for themselves. We also have Bethany Frankel doing her Instagram where she will compare the most elite, expensive handbags to one you can buy on Target. This humble, basic, yet rich in this balance she provides, but it's consistent. Nevertheless, her history will say she's there to invest in that handbag, but also them, because she knows her lucky. She knows also they're unlucky, and this has been consistently maintained throughout her career. And we just see Meghan turn up to strike and take that claim using the titles she tried to somehow defame, yet she still wears them to turn up in this way. Then we have Give Back, highlighted Give Back, Harry and Meghan are telling us. And we then go on to read, some families and people have been left with nothing. Please consider donating clothing, children's toys and clothing and other essentials. And here's the thing, growing up in domestic violence and going in a refuge at 14, I solely relied on charity through the Samaritan's bin, and it's so important that people do give. I only sorted out my wardrobe yesterday and took the biggest bag, and I do this every time. Again, an instant, it's automatic. People are already doing this, and they haven't got the money that you've taken from him. So I just find it so contrived. I find it the only bit of balance I can take in Harry and Meghan turning up there, as I chuck in a bit of satire, that a lot of these celebrities that have lost their homes were probably Harry and Meghan's wedding guests, which they replaced with her family instead, you know? And I just can't even, and I think everyone feels the same, because we just look and think, no. Do you know what you could do is just give, donate, send out a message of care. Then when the media, because you can't win, I understand this, because if they didn't do anything, people would be on them. But when that time comes, you can just share the proof that you were there quietly in the background, because anything else just looks like a publicity stunt to inject and propel yourself. And they really have got to start to look around them and understand how the people do deceive them. I would be heartbroken if I felt a way about a tragic event and I had that platform to really show awareness, and I turned up and I had a reaction like this. I would really, really be devastated by that. But these two, no. And that's the thing. We don't see no soul in you, because all those moments that burnt to the ground in these people's houses, you had those moments, those memories with your family. You had all of those, yet you couldn't carry any sympathy, any care, any empathy as you sat on a sofa and did that to them. Yet we're meant to believe that this tragedy, although it affects us all in looking on as being a mom, being a parent, being a person, a human being, how are we meant to transition what we've watched you do to those people who loved you right through, and you were okay to do that to them on the main stage without a care of the backlash that will come against their name, the name you brandish on your website so elite. And now we're meant to believe that you're there solely for the people that grieve. And this is the thing, we can't do that. And lo and behold, someone still can't rein Meghan in, because again, she's speaking to her victim, but she's never really in the room, never fully engaged, half in, half out, because you can see her literally head around, find someone else, because this is her moment, her pap shot, her time to shine, to resurrect the negative in her life. And that's how the people see it, and it would never ever go away, because we see what they did to them, you know.